Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Jai Hind, everyone. I am Govin, the podcast moderator, and I welcome you all to the sixth and last episode of the special alumni series of Vox Populi, the voices of the people. And today we have someone who is an inspiration to all of us, Mr. Raghav Kapoor, Alumni Batch 2021-22. Hi, Raghav Bhaiya. We welcome you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So, how's life? How's it going? I mean, in general.
So, whenever someone asks me this question, how is life? I always feel the most wonderful thing is that there is life. The most wonderful thing right now is that I'm alive and I'm happy about it. That's it.
That's absolutely amazing that you are alive and you're happy about it. I mean, being happy is an entire one element that every person should pursue in life. Okay. So, I mean, coming back to Sunbeam after so many years, I mean, is it nostalgic for you?
Obviously. 14 years. Sri Ram spent 14 years in the forests. I spent 14 years in
My
Sunbeam.
God, this is Vanvas.
Not Vanvas. Was the Vanvas of Sri Ram a thing which he was not happy about? No.
Absolutely no.
That is what that is what shaped Sri Ram, what we admire him as today. And you're seeing Raghav in front of you who had 14 years in Sunbeam Bhagwanpur. I'm sorry if this becomes
No.
too cheesy, but yes.
Okay. So, that's totally fine. Raghav spending 14 years in Sunbeam Bhagwanpur. I mean, from a small kid who walked inside the doors of Bhagwanpur
Crying.
to, oh my God, crying. Yeah, I can relate. I was also crying at the very first day. So, I mean, how the difference has been shaped, whatever you are today, what was the journey behind it?
It's a collective, it's a phenomena where each and every part of it plays a role. So when a child comes to school, they are always crying. Ki, I don't want to leave my home. Please take me back. I always told my mother, ki, kahan chhod diya? Where have you left me in this place? And now the whole thing that changed was that when I was leaving this school and then I was feeling ki, kyun chhod diya? Why am I leaving this place again? So everyone, in the almost all the 14 years, all the teachers, coordinators, in charges, activity in charges, everyone has played so much role in shaping our characters. When I say our, I talk about all the people I've seen grow with me, that we literally identify as ourselves the way we are right now because of how we have been shaped in this or forged in this place. I just feel privileged and again very happy about it that I was here. It's just luck. It's just sheer luck. Thank you.
So, Raghav, I must say that the journey of 14 long years in Sunbeam was quite
Not
a
long.
journey. Yes. Okay, not long. It was a small journey. But it is, as a tentative number, 14 long years for us. We are still a part of it. So, if we talk about one memory that you would like to share that you hold closest to your heart.
Okay. I would put this up like this. So, whenever I think about my school days, school is not because of the building infrastructure and things around. School is because of the people who are running it. So, whenever I think about the school, I always think about all my teachers and people with whom I'm interacted, and what I have learned from them, each one of them. I can just keep on listing a lot of things right now. So, if I talk about one moment, then that one moment should be something which contains all of those learnings. So, that moment would be my farewell assembly. What happened in that? Me, Pragyan, as you know, as people of Vox Populi knows. So, and two more of my friends, we did a presentation. We did a small presentation. It was a song kind of thing where we talked about all our teachers and one learning from them in a very rhythmic way. So that would be one thing which I remember and which I'll keep close to my heart because it contains everything that happened in my school. I tried to bring everything in that 15-20 minutes presentation so that I remember it.
I mean, that's absolutely great. bringing forward the best that you can, for compiling and concluding the entire journey that you have had for 14 years. That's truly a cherishable moment for all of us.
It was.
So, Raghav, I must say that the personality that we see today is a developed one or is still developing, thinking about life, in your perspective. Okay. So, what's the difference between the Raghav we see today and the Raghav who walked into the school campus for the first time, PG, KG1, or you can take the second stage of life or the second sphere, class third, fourth?
I'll, if you allow, I'll distribute this thing into two parts.
Absolutely.
One was the Raghav who entered the school, 2008, and one was the Raghav who left the school, 2022, and now what you see. Yes. So, between 2008 and 2022, an innocent child who didn't know anything about the world or anything about how things go on around was developed into a good human being, first of all, to take care of the people around them, and along with the principles, the values of, sorry audience if this is cliche, duty, devotion, discipline. This is very close to our hearts. So these three things, and the sense of responsibility that we carried with us, because it I still remember my farewell placard, that my farewell certificate thing that I got at the end. It said ki now you're entering the world, do justice to what you are. The world, we are giving something to this world, so do justice to what we have made you into. That was one Raghav, who had a lot of ideas about the world, what Raghav could change in this world, and what Raghav could learn from this world. And now, thanks to Sunbeam and the teaching that I went to ISER Pune, there I have experienced a lot more things about life. I have learned more about how to be and what, and I've thought a lot about what our life means in general. Okay, you're smiling, I know that, because I keep talking about life. That is a very important thing for me, and I guess for it should be for most of us. That how should we be in this brief amount of time that we have right now? So, the Raghav you see right now is an amalgamation of whatever Sunbeam added to it, added to him, and whatever ISER Pune, based on its atmosphere, added to myself. And I guess I just want to be a little bit more passionate, more compassionate. I want to learn empathy. I want to develop some skills through which I can help people around myself, and just live sensibly. That's it.
That's absolutely intellectual of you.
Yeah.
We learn skills to help
words.
ourselves. You learn skills to serve the people around you. I mean, you're a normal person with an abnormal goal.
Okay.
Yes, if I define it in a statement. Okay, so Raghav, I see you defining and talking about life in loop. Can you define what is life according to you?
When I say moments, I mean each and every moment, each and every passing moment. This very moment, my hand going up and down, this is something that will not come again. You smiling right now will not come again. People looking at me will not come again. So all these moments, each and every passing moments, is what defines life for me. So okay, there's a very interesting understanding. So life is like we riding a car. I'm learning to drive nowadays, by the way. So we driving a car in dark, full speed, 6th gear, 5th gear, whatever the highest is, and we don't know when the car will crash. So what do? You drive it as joyfully, as blissfully, as sensibly as possible. That is life for me.
It'll take some time for me to register it in my brain. I mean, okay, yes.
It will take. I also took some time to think about
Yes.
this.
Even I can relate to that. I am into the perspectives of life, and I'm also reading about it, thinking about it these days, observing things around me, and I think that it would help me a lot as an individual.
Sure.
So, Raghav, coming back to our topic, if we talk about life, and if we talk about life at Sunbeam, what would be that one word that you would dedicate to your entire journey?
Sunbeam's journey, I would say it's privilege, and it's all the collective efforts which shape small kids into people, into men, women who can make some betterment to this world. That's it.
So, all of us in our school lives have been or dragged into or have some or the other experiences of some or the other mischiefs that we have done in our entire school life. So, can you share one anecdote on that?
I was in class 8th, and during recess, I don't know if the situation is like that or not, but it used to be very loud, and we had songs being played. I have a dream, like these and all. So we would just keep on listening to these songs and just eating our lunch. And after we finish our lunch, we go to wash our hands, and then we come back and sit. And now we have 5 minutes extra. Oh no, 5 minutes! What to do in these 5 minutes? Nothing. We just tap on the table sitting in the class. So now everybody in our class in class 8 just started tapping on their tables, and just not in a very nice manner. It was not nice to hear. So it was very loud. And suddenly 5 minutes went away. We didn't realize that recess is over and I have a dream has stopped now. People are not in their dreams. So people are just coming and seeing what is happening in the class, and then so our coordinator, the class 7th, 8th coordinator, she came and just scolded us, "Ki, what are you people doing?" and stuff like that. And she went away. And then by chance, we kept on doing that. Then some people who take care of the floors and the kids, they came up. They were telling us, "Ki, this is not fine, we'll complain." And I'm too scared. Now, why am I scared? Because I am in my opinion, I was the very, button, I should close this. I was the very disciplined
Disciplined.
person. I don't do these things. People don't think of me in this light. The tie upper kar li. So, in that manner, I felt I'm gone. My image is over. I will die. People will think Raghav has become so bad now. He's tapping on the table. And then what happened is my classmates were even more mischievous. They said Raghav was also doing it. Take your face, good face, take it, come with us. We'll together go to Anita ma'am's office. And we went, and then ma'am is like, Raghav, you're also doing this. And then all the classes we are going through, we are a group of people. Each and every class, Sanjay Oja sir comes out, Raghav, you are doing this. Not expected. And I'm like, I am dead. This is not fine. My life is over. And then Kaushal sir taught me one thing that day. If you have stolen even a small piece of stone from somewhere, tell that you have stolen, because stealth is stealth. So if you have stolen something, you should accept that you have stolen something and not repeat it. So I just felt like, okay, I'll never tap anywhere after this in this world.
Okay.
That is one thing which I enjoyed, because that tells a lot about how children think of themselves. When I was at that age, I felt like I am the very disciplined kid, and then I felt like my world is over. But now I think kuch nahi, nothing happens with that. It's fine. You were just playing. You got scolded. You understood. You do not do it again. Finish.
Okay. I can relate a little bit. I mean, that's my daily routine. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Yes. Raghav, once again, I ask, when we talk about life, how your journey has been and what your journey will be in the future. So, the Raghav that we see today, what will be the Raghav in the future?
There was an American journalist, an author. I don't remember the full name. His name was S. Thompson something.
Hmm.
I don't know the first name. I'm sorry. Someone, when he was in his 20s or so, someone asked him, "Hey, please tell me, what do I do with my life?" And he said that, "Oh my God, what a so vulnerable question you're asking me, to tell a human being what to do with his life. You're asking me to point a trembling finger towards one direction. That, try that. Maybe your life becomes good." I'm not pointing to the audience. Somewhere. And then this was the reply what Mr. Thompson gave. So the whole idea about his reply was कि if people have time apart from watching Instagram reels, kindly go and look at Thompson's life also. It was a very out of out of the box life. He's doing anything what he wants, not even thinking about what the world thinks about him or something. Doing a I'm not praising his way of life. I'm just saying that's another way of life you can look at. So what his main idea was, and what I hold very close to my heart is, I like the analogy of this trembling finger, because when you are asking me what you see Raghav, the future Raghav as, and if I want to answer what I see myself in future as, I not even just I, nobody knows what I will be in my future, but yes, I do have pointed my trembling finger, because even if it is me or if it is you, we can't point our fingers towards that direction. I will become a scientist, I will become an engineer, I will become a doctor. The idea of will is something else. You can have a very strong will to become that thing, but you don't know what will happen in future. So what my idea is, my trembling finger is pointing towards asking questions, asking good questions which can help the society. What are those questions? Questions about the climate. I am more or less going towards climate science. That is trembling finger, remember that. I can change it. So climate science, in the sense, I am trying to ask the questions, you're not feeling hot right now. We have AC here, but why do we feel so hot nowadays in the northern belt? What are these heat waves coming up suddenly in the last 5-6 years? This is the question I want to ask. Why this is happening? I want to ask questions in the field of biophysics. I want to ask why or how our brain functions. I can go into depth of these things, but I don't think so it will make sense right now. I want to ask questions about how should we change, or how should we improve our education policy to make children more self-dependent. Sunbeam has done a lot to make me self-dependent, but I have looked at a lot of places in Maharashtra also. I have been part of some outreach clubs and things where I see that things are not so well percolate. Things do not percolate so well as they do in Sunbeam. So I want to think about these things. I want to ask these questions. And if you want to ask, what are these people called? These people are called scientists. Why scientists? Because they ask questions about things. Anybody can ask questions. Then why am I being called a scientist? Because I'll somehow manage to earn a living through it. That's it.
I mean, that's
Sorry if it is again too cheesy.
no, that's not cheesy. I mean, come on, let's keep the riz high for the podcast.
Oh, Gen Z.
That's totally fine because our audience is Gen Z, so that's why I have to include these words. Okay, so keeping the charisma of the podcast high, okay, and making sure that anybody who asks a question is not a scientist or is a scientist. That question remains undefined in this
Oh, yes,
podcast.
that was just a line, the punchline I wanted to say. Scientists are nothing but the people who are just willing to ask questions, any question, not questions which look good or grand. I also had this idea when I was in Sunbeam that only ask grand questions. What to ask the question, like what would happen if I have a small dibba or small container and I have some toothpicks in it, and if I keep it, you have a new toothpick box. You notice that the toothpicks are arranged in a spiral manner in it. Oh, what the hell question? Why do we ask this question? Ask what to do with stars. Ask when you are going to Mars. Those are not bad questions. Those are good questions, big questions. But my whole point is, scientists are not those who ask grand questions. No, scientists are those who see around them, who observe things and ask anything that sparks curiosity in them. I can write a 5-6 page paper, not me obviously, but a scientist can write a 5, 6, 10, 20 page paper on how a toothpick, a newly processed box of toothpick, when you keep toothpicks perpendicularly in it, after a few days, you give some jerks to it, it will arrange itself in a spiral shape. Stop this, pause it here, go and check on Google images, you'll find out how toothpicks arrange themselves in a box. This is a scientist who are not afraid of asking questions. And that is what I see myself becoming into. And yes, that earning a living thing is, I'm sorry, I still don't know how will I manage to do this, but I will do it because I love asking questions. People like people who like asking questions, and then if people like people who like asking questions, then people will like who am I, and then I can earn things.
I mean, yes. 2 days back, I was interrupted because I asked a question. I'm being interrupted because I'm asking questions. I mean, yes, okay. Asking questions is a trait. Few people see it positively, few people see it negatively.
Yes.
Ha. And that was the same line that the other person repeated, that if you'll ask so much questions, how'll you earn a living?
Very good.
But still,
Ask questions where there is money, along with the questions you want to answer.
no, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'll not ask questions where there's money. I'll only ask questions. Okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of this podcast session. I mean, that was so interacting talking to you, Raghav,
I love
talking about life, seeing how Sunbeam evolved and you evolved with Sunbeam, and how things have helped you to reach out outside the Sunbeam campus, and how your life's going right now because of Sunbeam and its inclusive holistic developmental efforts. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we end with today's podcast session and our special alumni series, to be more precise. Thank you so much for being such a nice audience and supporting us throughout the journey. With that, I, Govind, the podcast moderator, signs off and rests off today's podcast session and the special alumni series session. Thank you. Jai Hind. Like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you. Thank you, Govind. Thank you, everyone.